they're going to do the isolation strategy, Ziggs is far better, pushing the lane, trying to harass out his opponent. I really wonder what Faker's going to put against it, but they have the freedom to wait near the end of their pick ban phase. So
we are going to see a new jungler finally here for Bengi. We've seen him playing Evelynn twice so far. This time around, we see a Lee Sin coming in. It could, of course, always fall into that top lane, but I think more likely at this stage to be with Bengi. We'll have to see. Also taking Leona for Mandu.
Yeah, surprising that he picked that with Eve on the board. Obviously, Eve going to the other side with the Lee Sin. I think he's going to do that Sightstone build, go for vision control, which means they do need a fair bit of damage out of Faker's pick in the mid lane if they go for something.
So on the other side then, Evelynn, as you mentioned, that was open for Bengi if he would have wanted it. Not anymore though, that will be taken away for OMG. So Pomelo will have Evelynn and they take the AD carry as well this round with Lucian for Sun.
Control over Urgot right now from Piglet. He doesn't even have to pick his role. At this point, they're most likely just picking both of their solo laners. They know exactly what they would be matched up against. They just don't know OMG's support pick. I'm actually expecting a fair bit of team fight utility coming in from those things because they already selected Leona on Twitch.
Well, definitely running down the clock on this one, our SKT. And just a few seconds to go, we see a switch coming out there. It's going to be Orianna in the mid lane for Faker and Trundle for Impact in the top lane.
Now, Faker has shown that he can play Orianna quite well. He played a lot of it actually at the Season 3 World Championships against Gragas when he had to, but he actually hasn't played an Orianna game during the OGN season or the NLB season that he got dropped down into. So a little bit of a break from the norm, so to speak, for Faker, at least this split. He's going to need that shielding and wave clear to try and keep up with Ziggs.
Did play it a couple of times in Masters, though, if we want to stay in Korea there. 1 win, 1 loss on Orianna. We'll see how he does in this one, because this is basically the top spot game right here. The chances of this being the one that decides who finished first, pretty much done and dusted. On the other side, OMG taking a while here. Support pick is what we're looking for Alan. As we said, he's played Thresh and he's played Annie so far. Thresh banned away. Will he go for Annie again? No, he won't. He's going to pick up Nami.
Yeah, you can see they have a lot of long-range potential poke with the Ziggs here. It is his second most played support. Even though he played the Thresh and the Annie, which are standard supports, Alan's the guy who plays unconventional things. He had played 4 support LeBlanc games. It was banned here, so he couldn't go with it. But yeah, the 5-0 record on Nami, very brutal laner, especially with someone like Twitch, who when he pops out of stealth, is pretty much just a turret of damage. That's when you throw the bubble right on top of him, try and pop him up, and you let Sun try and finish him off on Lucian. I do like that Nami pick for the team comp, and specifically if they have to lane against Twitch and Leona.
Really interested to see how this one works out. The two form teams up until now, of course, this is our first invitational game of the day, so who knows who's changed their plays overnight. TPA and Fnatic certainly be two teams that are looking for that, but going on form so far, these are the teams to beat. This is the top game for the All-Stars group stage here. Of course, we still have playoffs to come a little bit later on in the weekend, tomorrow and Sunday. Of course, we will be moving on to them. But as we load onto the Rift, hit us up on Twitter, guys, and let us know which mid laner you will think will be coming out on top of this one. Use hashtag Faker or hashtag Xiyoung. It's hard to call. It's really hard to call.
That's why I'm so excited for this game, especially because we actually might see just a full-on 1v1 with these guys with very little jungle intervention early, just because of the way OMG plays the early games. Fnatic might have something up their sleeve. They have been very good strategically this tournament, which has been one of their big weaknesses during their slump, not necessarily knowing the way to go early game or follow people's rotations in the late game. But they did that very well yesterday against their 2 opponents.
Well, we are going to be getting into game here shortly. Bengi is actually rocking the Lee Sin and the SKT Lee Sin as well with that. So very interested to see how this one all goes down. Going to be a fantastic matchup. As I said, the action only really just getting started today. We saw a Hexakill earlier, which was extremely exciting, I have to say.
That Hexakill was much cooler than I thought it was going to be. And I'm saying that a lot this event, that this is better or cooler than I thought it was going to be, but it was true. Just seeing where they came out, double Lee Sins, double junglers. I know that SKT had luck with the SKT skins yesterday when they did the Vayne and the Zyra. By the end of it, maybe they're going to play all 5 of them. They're just going to make it in slowly. Just need Jax to be
waiting, obviously, till the grand final.
Grand final, to play 5 in a team. Yeah.
I'm not sure if that'll actually happen, or maybe if they'll even get to that grand final. Who knows what happens further down the line, especially when we get into those best-of-3 semi-finals, which obviously are a lot more adaptive. As you can see on your screen there, looks like Faker just having a couple of little issues, but we do have the admins behind him, so they shall be working their way through that one. Hopefully we can get this one kicked off in the meantime. However, it does give us a little bit of time just to talk more about these teams, the scenario, the head-to-head so far. Of course, I mentioned it right at the start. 1-1 is their record from Worlds last year.
Yeah.
2 very one-sided games, funnily enough. That's one basic stomp for SKT, and the same then in the other game for OMG.
And especially when we look at the way OMG performed after Worlds, you really see what a strong team they are now and they were. And let's just kind of think back in time a little bit and remember how OMG lost out of the World Championships. They got almost blindsided by Royal Club in a best-of-3 in the quarterfinals because they drew the other Chinese team out of the group stage, who ended up rolling onto the finals and then losing pretty badly to SKT. But because they were so familiar with each other, it's tough to really get the general strength. It's like when teams scrim each other a lot, or their practice partners, or sister teams, this happens so often in Korea. They can just trade games off each other like crazy because they're so familiar. That's kind of what I think could have happened to OMG. And one could argue that OMG might have been SKT's biggest competition at Worlds last year. And as we get to see them compete here, potentially in the group stage and maybe even in the playoffs, they're both pretty strong chances of making it to Worlds because OMG is so strong in the LPL and SKT has a lot of circuit points already in Korea. This could be a really huge international rivalry that we start getting going.
Well, and that's the funny thing, because if you look at their current form in their domestic competitions, SKT, of course, bowed out early on. I mean, as you mentioned yesterday, it's only a couple of series and you're out. Yeah. It's very cutthroat in Korea, that's for sure. LPL, a longer season, 28 games, same as what we have in North America and Europe in the LCS. Obviously, still playoffs to come in that one, but they did not drop many games, and you could argue that OMG from that are the informed team of the two.
Yeah, exactly. You look at SKT and their champions that they won 15-0. Obviously, they've struggled a bit this time. If you add their recent champion season with the NLB, they would actually be 8-9. But that's not counting Masters, which they did much better in. So hard to actually follow the Korean scene super closely with all those 3 different leagues basically going on at once. But you look at OMG, 25-3, like you said, just as dominant, if not more so, with their region.
So let's talk about where this game has to be won from both sides of things. We've seen already that OMG are an absolute beastly team fighting team. They've had a couple of dodgy early game phases, that's for sure. Is that the time to beat OMG? Do you have to crush them as fast as possible in the games so that they don't get as strong for those team fights where they excel?
I think it's absolutely the place where you have to beat them, and also where they're weakest. Because looking at all their games from their LPL season, they often were either even in gold early game or actually behind in gold early game, and then were able to force team fights or just take advantage of Xiyoung's giant advantage in the mid lane to really get things going. And it is a weakness for them. The game that they stomped on TPA yesterday, by the end of it, started poorly. Both of their side lanes were vastly behind in CS. They continued to lane swap. As the analyst desk pointed out, every time they lane swapped, they lost a wave of minions. And against a World Championship caliber team, Season 3 World Champions in SKT, that very well could put them farther behind than their team fighting ability can make up for.
Every single wave counts. In a game between two such talented teams, every single wave is going to be counting for you. For SKT, I also want to touch on Bengi. Monte Cristo actually had him down as maybe the shining light from day one. The question is has Bengi been tested enough from the 2 games that they won yesterday? You may even argue to me, has Bengi turned a corner?
It's going to be the question that will maybe even get proved in this game, because they did play TPA, who's 0-2. We don't actually know if they were outclassed or if they're just the strong team, versus Cloud9, who had that nice showing against Fnatic, but they're still a wounded team without High. How much did that really show? Are they better strategically, or were they just playing against wounded teams?
Well, so many questions still to be answered. Faker's actually having his machine swapped out as we speak. So while we get that sorted, we're going to head over back to the analysis desk for more about this matchup.
Thank you very much, guys. Let's talk about what we can at this moment in time. Picks and bans. I know as we were seeing it play out, we did see the Syndra being taken away from OMG. That was the second ban on the side of SKT's side. Over on the other side of the table, LeBlanc not making its way through, not making the same mistakes Cloud9 did yesterday. Also, Morning got his hands, Xiang rather, got his hands on Ziggs, which is quite a comfort pick.
Yeah, that's the key thing here, because Ziggs is the second most banned champion against OMG back in LPL. And simply also due to the fact there is these bans, LeBlanc's banned away, Syndra being banned away. OMG picks it very early. Blind picks it well. They trust him. No matter what Faker is going to play against it, he can deal with it. And it also means they give up some picks to SKT.
Well, very quickly, we're actually almost ready.
Yeah, coming in, it's still a losing matchup for Orion. It is a hard matchup in the laning phase, but they gave away some big Korean power picks as well. Twitch is frequently banned against Piglet. Also, the Lee Sin. Now, at first blush, just looking at these compositions, right now, if it goes late, Ziggs will be able to turtle, and SK Telecom doesn't have the best siege, so this might be a long game.
Very quick. I know you're excited.
I just want to see what Alan can do on Nami here, because normally he's actually the main engage for OMG. This time he picked disengage against the Leona. Maybe it's going to hurt them, maybe it's going to go good for him, we'll see.
Well, we're about to find out. It does look like that problem has been resolved and we should be ready to go. So Joe and Jet, take it back again.
Well, we're happy to take it back because we are getting closer to that game. Faker's machine has been sorted out. His headset is in fact back on, which is a good sign for us because this is the most hotly anticipated game of the day.
And I did like Monty's point right there about the Ziggs being able to stall into the late game. Even if they make some mistakes early, they might be able to make it to a point where the gold is close enough to have even-on teamfights where they excel.
Where they excel. Guys, we're going to get into the game and figure out whether it's SK Telecom, T1K, or OMG that can go 3-0 here in Paris. It's going to be an exciting one, that's for sure. The question is, who is it that's going to be getting the early advantage in this one? We've seen so much action at level 1, something that me as a play-by-play commentator absolutely love.
You hit the roof right at the start of the game with some of these calls. And I really do have to say that SKT is the early game favorite right now, just because of the way they rotated against Cloud9, the stuff they did early game, very early on, and because OMG has had suspect starts. Faker may still be having some issues, though.
It looks that way. Faker, the man with his headset off, as you can see. Full screen on your screen. So hopefully that can be sorted here as quickly as possible. And funnily enough, Jet, as we say that, the pause is once again coming off for a second. Seems like it might be a test pause, though, just to see exactly what is going on here with Faker. Headset on, headset off. I'm not sure if Faker knows what Faker needs right now.
So you guys know at home, we have extra referees for the All-Star. Normally there's 2 refs. We now have 3 refs on the stage. Obviously, all QA is standing by. They're getting these tons of backup machines. He's on his second PC here, just making everything try and work. But sometimes just doesn't want to cooperate. It's an audio issue.
Yeah, it can be a process as well. Of course, with the Korean teams, we have to go through translators a lot of the time for these teams, so it can be a bit of a process. But the team is up there and working on this issue, and we should be able to get this one going as quickly as possible. Either way, for Faker, not the start to the game that he's looking for. These kind of things can sometimes have an effect on your concentration, I think, more than anything else. But we're talking about Season 3 World Champions here. These are not guys who have no experience playing on a stage like this.
And not to mention all the finals they've been a part of over Korea. They played in many monstrous stadiums in front of thousands and thousands of people with the pressure coming down on them. I mean, Faker is just got to say so famous as well. He knows how to deal with the pressure. There is a lot on the line for him, obviously, because representing Korea internationally is a huge pride point for these guys. And Korean teams, almost more so than anyone else, really, really prepare for these international events, and they always seem to win them.
They do. And we heard yesterday, actually, from Freakies, looking forward to seeing a top international event that's not won by a Korean team. Kind of hard to argue against that at this point with a 2-0 SK Telecom. That might change here, though, with OMG looking strong. Freak's already got the OMG scarf on, which, by the way, looks very warm, something that we definitely don't need here in Paris.
Yeah, I have to question where he got that, whether Pastry Time actually gave it to him at some point, because I don't remember Freak having it laying around, but he's got it now, which is the important.
He's got it now, and even more importantly than Freak's scarf, we're getting into the game here. Are we going to see anything at level 1? We were just less than a minute into the game when we had that last pause, and as such, nothing really happening. Pretty much a line defense spread out across the entire map here.
Yeah, they're dancing in the top lane, and there's some fun bomb action going on in the mid lane, where they're both faking recalls at each other. Xiang has already tried to cancel and throw bombs every once in a while, but Faker hasn't let a single one land. They're mechanically testing each other right now. Who can cancel the recall last?
And who's the best dancer, which I think Faker wins automatically with Orianna there in the mid lane. We'll see if they decide to have a little bit of a go at each other. You see the reactions there. Xiang moves one step forward, and Faker says, nope, I'll take the step back as well. So this is definitely an interesting start. You can see on the player cameras there. That's basically first points for Faker there.
That's the third one he's dodged. Oh! He didn't trust himself to dodge that one, but he did it anyway.
Well, minions are in the lane now, and that basically was the level 1 from this game. It was a dance and a few bomb dodges in that mid lane. We can see the start here from SKT. Down at the red buff with the help from the duo lane. They're going to be facing off 2 versus 2 against Sun and Alan.
I'm actually really happy to see standard lanes in this one because we'll really get to see the individual laning skill of these guys come out strong. It also means for SKT that it's not going to be as isolated in the mid lane. Look at this early damage though, big fight!
Sun's in trouble, actually will flash away, but now it's Piglet that has to flash as well. He got very, very low from that one. In the end, it's Mandu and Alan that end up going head to head. If we look at summoner spells here being burnt, Sun, with the heal uses, Piglet actually went Ignite and Flash.
Exactly, but Mandu still has his heal. If they do that trade again, it could be in the advantage of SKT, but they don't want to take any risks. He's actually the one recalling first, which will mean Sun has an level and experience advantage in that bottom lane.
Alan just showing Mandu who's boss, keeping him zoned away from everything there. But obviously with the recall of Piglet now, will be them starting to fall behind. It's already a 10 CS difference after that little engage or encounter here in the bottom lane. The top lane, of course, we did see a brief moment of dancing from both Impact and going just next to the turret. Currently, they are level on the CS with going just slightly ahead actually in levels here, already up to level 3. Have to say, Impact has been really impressive for me so far this week. Playing the Shyvana himself has pretty much bullied everyone he's gone up against.
Yeah, especially Balls yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
The guy who was the top lane carry for Cloud9. That's really the first bad game I've seen from Cloud9's top laner all season, really, if I include what's happened. And Impact has just been able to shut it down. Don't even need to talk about what happened to Aki in the top lane there.
Yeah, that wasn't pretty, I'm afraid, for TPA side of things. Our mid lane featured matchup, though. Faker against Xiang. Faker is level 4. We'll look at the CS, 25 to 19. Not expecting these guys to really be missing much of a beat when it comes to actually farming up. This is where it gets interesting, though, when Pomelo and Bengi start to get involved in that lane.
I do have to say, even right from the start, Xiang usually has the other guy pushed back, and even if he's behind on CS, he's done damage to them. He has done neither of those things to Faker so far, so I really do think Faker has the upper hand in that lane early.
You did see Bengi actually come into the bottom lane there.
Can't even hit the minefield.
A bit of a look. Yeah, not quite. Faker running low on mana there, but see that Xiang having to use these pots already. Both mid laners did start with the pots and Doran's ring here on the very get-go, and Faker, the one that's still holding on to that pot, dodging pretty much everything. That little dance and dodging at level 1 wasn't just for show. That's actually what's happening. But look at this. We have Evelyn up there. Gogoin's less than half HP. They need to be careful if they're going to dive how they tank it.
Lee Sin is very close. Bengi is a master of counter ganks, and it could be the right time. Let's see how fast it is.
It's going to be Pomelo that tanks this one up, but there's a flash from Impact. He does get first blood, and he's managed to get away. Bengi gets one kill back. He's going to TP out. It's going to be quick. He's got away. He's got away from it. 15 HP left for Gogoin. It doesn't get any closer than that.
Wow.
And that's gonna basically blow up the Zenith here. Eruption from the crowd.
Yeah.
Let's look at that one again. So clutch.
So they had the level advantage, and it's all about how they tank the turret right there. Going does get turret on him, and he tries to tank as long as possible. He had it timed perfectly if Bengi didn't actually show up. So Bengi gets there. Both of them would have gotten away. The teleport was timing. We don't have time for replays.
Mondo going down, and Alan picks up the kill there. Meanwhile, Piglet trying to get the damage back onto Alan. The poison won't be enough to finish him off. Is Piglet going to go aggressive? He did just go into ambush, but decided not to push on further through. That leaves us at 2-1 in favor of OMG.
Oh, Piglet does get some nice return damage, but that kill basically happened because of the early recall from Piglet. He didn't buy any items, whereas Sun actually did a fairly early recall and picked up a second Dorns, knowing how trade-heavy this lane was going to be against a Twitch. They get the upper hand, they get the kill, and the advantage in the lane.
Now we see Bengi coming down, trying to alleviate some of that pressure that's really built up. We're seeing Sun and Alan actually recalling now from that bottom lane. Might mean that he comes in with even more ridiculousness.
But a level 6 impact, he's almost too big to kill right now. There's not even a red buff. I wonder how he's going to walk away from this one.
Oh, Gogo needs to be careful on it. There is the pillar going down. Impact at less than half HP, getting a bit of regen from his ultimate. But Pomelo going to stick to him. And actually, Pomelo deciding to turn away. Impact giving enough damage back to stop that gank from working.
Yeah, got them both really low, trying to show his force in that lane. And Bengi has to make something happen off of that. He did not help out his top laner there, and he's trying to counter jungle. He's in pretty deep, though.
Xiong actually coming around the side. Alan's actually going to come in and spot Bengi's position, which means they can move into position or away from position, maybe from Xiong's point of view. Bengi's coming around the back. They're going to try and dive in. The kick comes in. It's knocked him into the wall. Xiong is still in trouble. Here comes Faker, and Faker gets the kill with his Ignite.
Turning the strategy back around on OMG. Pomelo was not in range. Does make Faker burn the shockwave, though.
Burns the shockwave. Faker thought he might be able to have a bit of a go on Pomelo, or whether that was even for safety reasons there for Faker. Either way, they get the kill. Bengi not quite getting the kick that he wanted because of the flash from Xiong. But nonetheless, great game so far.
And I really do have to say, as far as OMG's overall strategies go, a death onto their mid laner is far more punishing than the kill that they got onto Impact. These are mid lane focused teams, even more so for OMG. The fact that he is now down a substantial amount of CS to Faker, as well as a kill, is going to be very difficult to deal with.
The boot almost on the other foot. We saw his Xiong yesterday having so much more farm than his opposite number. That's not going to be the case in Faker. Look at this coming around, trying to have a bit of a go at the blue, but Xiong already throwing his bomb down from that one, making sure that he doesn't lose out. Going to take a pink ward with him as well. Didn't even take much damage from the minefield.
I'm ridiculously impressed with how well Faker's dodging pretty much every single skill shot Xiong throws against him. It doesn't seem like he takes damage against Ziggs right now.
Yeah, he's still got his potion.
Yeah.
From level 1, so that kind of tells you exactly how well he's been dodging. The bottom lane, of course, where we did see those kills coming in earlier on, has a vamp set to here for Sun now, as Impact going to be TPing his way back up to that top lane, which gives him the extra farm that would have been lost if his TP wasn't available to get into that top lane.
Yeah, and talking with a lot of the experts on the LPL, they all say that Sun is kind of the secondary carry for SKT. Nice jump back!
Mandu's gone far too deep on this one. He's gone into turret range. They're going to focus Piglet. This could be a double kill. It will be Alan that gets it. Not quite the double kill, but the bottom lane goes down. Xiong going to get kicked out. They're going to go straight in. He throws his bomb down. He's still alive. He might actually die. He does. Xiong gets one with him. How did he manage that one? Throwing his ultimate right on top of himself. Action everywhere.
It's too much to even talk about. He focused everything down as the dive happened and managed to get something back. But the secondary carry for OMG, Sun, needs to be the primary one this time. The moves he pulled there on Mandu, sucking him into the turret while the culling was going, is just brilliant down there. It's Faker doing everything he can, and amazingly, Piglet and Mandu are actually losing their 2v2 lane.
Pomelo, you are in trouble, my friend. You're dead. Faker is on a killing spree now. 3-0-0. He's just hit 100 CS, which is by far the most in the game. And now going might be falling as well. Impact's going to go all the way on this one. Couple more hits. Impact has to flash away as well. That was close.
You could say these guys are pretty damn close in skill. And Faker just seems to be one step above. He's the one keeping them in the game right here. And as you said, Joe, it's like the boots on the other foot. Xiong is used to dominating in the mid lane, and OMG is used to making their game plan around that. But this time it's the opposite. Their side lanes are winning, and it's their mid lane they have to support too. How are they actually going to deal with that, as the gold is pretty much dead even?
Not sure I'm going to survive this game, Jack. It's certainly living up to its name right now. Everyone in high anticipation of this matchup. So far it is, of course, SKT with 4 kills to the 5 of OMG, but look at the gold. The gold is bang even here, 11 minutes into the game. You have to worry here, though, for OMG, because look at Faker. farming an absolute storm. He's sat on 3,000 gold.
That's bad for OMG at this point. He's got a 2-level advantage on Xiyang, and those bubbles are just seemingly seeking missiles right there, but he gets stunned up. Allen in trouble.
Oh, there's a tidal wave coming out. Mondu's going to fall low, but they do get the kill. San not going to stick around there. Is he going to try and duel Piglet? That wouldn't be the best idea. Flashes away as the Zenith play comes through.
I was going to mention it's a bit of a weird build by Sun right here, building a Sheen first. He's going for a Triforce. You often see in either Bloodthirster or Phage, but more action. Going caught up top.
Are they going to dive? Nope. Question answered on that one. Going did have his ultimate available if needs be, but look at this. Pomelo is down in the bottom lane. He's given his position away now, but he doesn't seem to care. It's Mondu that he wants to get in on. Here comes Xiyang as well from the mid lane. Is he going to throw the ulti down? Good slow from Piglet, and what looked like could be impending doom for Mondu is an escape quite cleanly.
Yeah, Xiyang is way out of his comfort zone right now. He had to roam down because he wants to stay away from Faker, using his ult just to save that. That's what Ziggs is able to do. It's one of the versatilities of the champion, but he really didn't make anything happen with that roam down bottom.
Incredible, incredible game. Only 12 minutes gone in this one. The goal 800 the lead now. A little bit of a swing there for SKT coming in. Impact, the man who's almost got his Blade of the Ruined King finished up, doing good damage to the turret, but it's his bottom lane that's going to be once again focused by OMG. SKT already backing away from this, so they obviously feel like there may be an unseen threat hiding there as going here is falling low. Impact going in again, doesn't trust himself underneath the tower.
They are so close in this top lane. Going is losing out, though, because he's the one having to use his turret as a defense mechanism, losing in CS to Impact despite getting a kill on him early.
Oh, Mondu throws out the Zenith Blade, didn't catch Allen. Evelyn is still waiting, but look at Bengi on the minimap. He's moving around to this bottom side as well. We could see a 3v3 fight breaking out. There's a solar flare. They're going to go for Allen. They hooked him up there. Can they finish him off? Bengi's going to come late to the party. Mandu actually going down. Allen is ticking. He's used the heal in this one, and he's got enough to survive it. And can you believe it? SKT start off the fight, and there you see the danger once again of the Evelyn.
The Evelyn has been big stuff for Pomelo, but honestly, that's now 2 lanes that are starting to lose solo for OMG. It's going to make it difficult for them to pull this one to late game. Did point out in the team compositions that SKT doesn't actually have much siege based on the wave clear of OMG, but Xiyang is going to need to get a lot more farm onto Ziggs in order to stall out like that. It's really just this bottom lane that is the last vestige of advantage for OMG in this match.
Sun's level 9 there to the 8 of Piglet. CS definitely in his advantage. If we look at that mid lane, of course, that big lead that Faker had built himself up continues to be the case. His 3,000 gold was invested heavily. Athene's Unholy Grail already finished with Sorcerer's Shoes and a Blasting Wand as well. Compare that to his opponent in this one, Xiyang, who's basically got nothing. Only the workings of that Athene's Unholy Grail. I think he's going to go bite now, but he's way behind.
1,600 gold behind, to be exact. And that is unacceptable for OMG. And even though this seems very simple at the start of the game to say, oh, they're just doing standard lanes. Standard lanes aren't standard anymore, especially over in the games in the OGN or even for OMG. This is very good by SKT, trusting Faker to be able to beat Xiyang in that 1v1 and getting repetitive ganks by Bengi. It's almost like Season 3 all over again for them, but SKT pulled it out at the right moment.
Oh, they're going to go in towards Faker, but it's going to be a base. Shockwave comes down. Ulti comes in as well. Bengi's going to go low. Safeguarding away. They kick Pomelo back, but here comes Xiyang. Faker's going for the kill. He has to back up, though. Allen's come around. Tidal wave comes in as well. Now Impact's coming down. Are they going to be able to pick up a kill? Faker doing good damage. Xiyang goes very low. Can they finish him? It's Impact that's in there right on top of them. Faker flashes in. Does he get the kill? Yes, they do in the end. Now Xiyang is focused. Bengi falls. It's Allen on the top side. It was a double kill for Mandu. They're going to let Allen walk away. A 2 for 2 in the end.
These fights are so close that supports are the ones that end up taking up the last kills because they're just trying so hard to finish people off. And honestly, Faker, aside from the one that killed him, just doesn't get hit by skill shots, it feels like. Watch this. Faker bursting down, going way faster than he expected because there was no magic resist, but then just track how many things miss Faker because of a sidestep. Xiyang throws that one thing, misses him with the satchel charge, misses him with the minefield, misses him with another bomb, dodges the tidal wave. He is just getting away from everything, and it is the only reason SKT came out close to even in this one, because OMG were at the point earlier. Look how late Leona comes in at this point. The fight could have easily been over. Finally, the last one hits Faker, and we get the kills traded on both sides. Ridiculous mechanics displayed in that team fight.
We've got 5 kills from the 16 that are on the support players right now, which is going to be a fun time for them, that's for sure, as we are going to see Piglet here having to flash away. Once again, Pomelo going to make his presence felt. Bengi moving in as well. Here comes the teleport of Impact into that bottom lane from the top. The kick pushes Pomelo against the pillar. The pillar will stop him getting away, and now they've got in underneath the tower. Alan down to half HP. Can they keep going? Sun's got no chance, and Alan's a dead man as well. Bengi picks up that one, but Faker to the side. Finished off in the end by Shyvana, but Mandu's gone deep once again. Too far maybe, he falls down, but now they're chasing on to go going. Ji-Young can do good damage on the side, has a double kill. Impact survived that one just about. Ji-Young will walk away, 4 for 3.
Joe,
insane.
This is absolutely crazy. 12 kills to 11, 17 minutes into the game. A lot of the Korean games this year have been slow-paced, so to speak. This is nothing like that at this time, because these games are both on top of their game. Piglet had to flash at the very start for this, and this was SKT trying to take it all. Once they got that one kick into the side and the pillar to isolate 2, they actually went for the third because they knew they were secured, but that's what we saw. We need to track how Faker is going down, because he was trying to finish things off, and they piled onto him. But because of the formation of the map right now, they ended up just running into each other, always collapsing in. A missed skill shot right there by Mandu that they could have needed later to end up that chaotic fight. At the end of it, it was 4 kills to 3 kills, and SKT with a bit larger lead.
And it's only a bit as well. 20 minutes almost into the game.
This will help, though.
We're going to see a Dragon. If they can finish this one off, that will give a good lead over to SKT. However, they need to be careful here. Piglet getting destroyed by Sun. Tidal Wave going to come through. There's a shutdown. Sun might die from this one. Again, the solar flare from Mandu locks him up. Alan now is going to be chased around the side. Evelyn's coming in here. We've got Bengi. We've got Faker.
Been deserted.
Impact moving in as well. They're going for Alan. You're not surviving this one, I'm afraid. They could even tank up that tower and take it down. We actually saw the teleport coming in from Impact. No, it was a recall, sorry, I'm telling lies. Because that top lane had been pushed so heavily. Going getting the outer, working on the inner. The outer mid lane is being pushed as well. SKT replied with the outer bottom lane turret of their own.
Yeah, and the mid one. Even in a game as chaotic as this, every action does have a reaction, and Going has to use that Blade of the Ruined King to try and escape. Makes it pretty quick. Just trying to look at this game from a higher level at this point. It is still very close, and the siege defense is going to be very key for OMG when the game gets to that point. But for now, they're too busy fighting.
Oh, Impact knocked back by the satchel charge. The minefield will slow him somewhat. Can they finish him off? Yes, they will. Piglet's off as well. May feel like they could have gone for that one, but safety, the name of that game for them. They'll take quite happily the kill onto Impact.
Piglet is actually getting punished for a lot of his positional moves this game. It is a very good champion select by OMG after the fact in this game, because remember, that was a Twitch first pick. So OMG got to build their entire composition around trying to punish a rat as soon as he comes out of stealth. That's what the Nami is doing so well with those bubbles every single time he pops in that lane. And that's what Ji-Young did with his Ziggs AoE the instant Piglet tried to turn.
Let's try and get to items, shall we?
Let's try.
I tried a couple of times, but basically just gave up on it after a while. Mid laners in particular I want to look at. While Ji-Young had a horrible laning phase in terms of farm, he's now picked up 4 kills, died only one more time here than Faker. We can see Rabadon's death cap added into his Athenes. On the other side though, Faker still ahead when it comes to the items. Athenes, Void Staff, needlessly large rod now out as well.
And Faker actually tends to go to Void Staff before death cap fairly frequently in games. It's one of the things he likes to do. Ji-Young, though, only 600 gold behind, as opposed to the 1,500 he was before. So once the team fights started happening, as OMG's strength dictates, they started catching up a little bit. This is a duel, though.
This is a duel. Going chased down by Impact, and Impact again turning back at the last second. Sun here finishing off finally that bottom turret.
Yeah, finally, as you say, with the Trinity Force, that's a faster turret pushing build for Sun. I do want to touch on Faker's Void Staff build a little bit, though, to kind of explain why he does it. It gives him more neutral target selection as far as who he gets to hit. And with the game as chaotic as it is now, and Going jumping on him so frequently, he wants that magic resist to just try and blow through him if he does get some MRO on that Shyvana.
OMG here playing a very sneaky game, moving through the bottom side of the SKT jungle. Of course, they have Pomelo, who can do that a little bit easier than the rest. Funnily enough, if they'd have gone a bit north, they would have maybe found Piglet,
that's
but
a
they
big
spotted
blast.
Alan. He gets caught up in this one, locked up by Mandu, puts some good damage back onto Piglet, but he's not going to escape from it. Piglet gets that kill. Now Pomelo caught inside of the SKT jungle as well. There's the kickback towards Faker, who throws in the ball and picks up the kill.
Pretty big positional mistakes right there by OMG. They were trying to set up more punishment for Piglet, but as they're so used to not having to deal with, their mid lane has lost control, so they couldn't make those aggressive moves into the jungle because they're the ones that get collapsed on now. This Baron may be indefensible with their jungler and support down, but they're going to try.
Baron Nashor at half HP. Going is maybe the savior of this one. Ziggs is coming in though, and he has his ultimate. That could be the big one here for Ji Young. He's actually going to throw that in. That knocks Impact low. There's a call in from around the side. Mandu's going to tank it up though, and they pick up Baron. Now they're going for going. The shockwave lands. He tries to dive out with the Dragon's Ascent. He's going to get away from that one as well. Just about. Almost went down. He's going to try and lifesteal there from the golems, but good Baron, solidly picked up. You have to give credit to Mondo as well for for tanking up the entire Cullen from the side.
Yeah, he's taken those kills to build a lot of nice tanky items as well, so it helped him survive. That was a very decisive call there by SKT after they caught a few people of OMG out of position, immediately turning it to perhaps a insurmountable advantage. That's what SKT always loves to focus on. It's a 4,000 gold lead, and now the question will really be about whether they could break through an OMG turtle, because that's exactly what OMG has to do now. They do have the death cap on Ziggs, so they can push out turrets very effectively.
Returning to that top lane there as well. A big wave of farm pushed in his general direction. He's currently leading the CS battle on that front, got more kills. Less assists overall than impact from this one. Here is Piglet. This is where
the Twitch.
You've got to be scared of the Twitch. Piglet's going to go straight on top of Sun. There's the slow coming down. Blade of the Rune King active, not actually used there. And Sun is going to throw down the Cullen. Well, here comes Bengi from the side. Can he get in position? Oh, Alan going to be spotted. Bengi goes further north. Both Alan and Sun have tried to back away. Sun's actually recalling at the back of his inner turret. Bengi's going for a walk all the way up to the walls of the base here. That may force them to back away completely from that mid lane turret. Bengi's going into the base. He's going straight for
That
Alan.
looks rather aggressive.
Actually caught him out this one. Safeguard to the wall. Bengi not even phased by that one.
And he burned the tidal wave, which is a tremendous disengage tool for OMG as a team as they try and turtle. That was a really nice, aggressive solo move by Bengi. He did not rely on anyone else for that one.
Oh, solar flare goes in.
Disengage
Bengi again, in behind the inhibitor turret. He focused Alan for a while. They're going to put some damage back. Piglet goes low as well. Meanwhile, in the top lane, Impact split pushing away. They do pick off Lee Sin in the end. OMG starting to move out, but they've lost that inner turret in the top.
Yeah, but they still have their inhibitor shell up. That's the important thing for them right now, is making sure they don't lose any inhibitor turrets. I think Bengi kind of gave away his life right there, because unless they're getting an immediate turret, that is a mistake.
Going a little bit too deep, not once, don't think even twice, maybe a third time. Sunny is going to go low. The poison really hurts. He's going to fall. Oh, clutch heal from Alan. That'll keep him alive.
But really, Piglet is showing his strength of not only himself, but also of Twitch, just popping up on San multiple times right there and nearly killing him both times.
Dragon won't be contested by OMG. It's an easy one. Second Dragon of the game, funnily enough, fairly low scoring in terms of Dragons.
Yeah, it's because there's been so much damn fighting. We're still 30 kills 25 minutes into the game, and the Baron buff is making everyone on SKT that much tankier. We also know the late game Trundle is going to be an absolute force. That's actually what SKT needs to build up towards, is a Randuin's Omen on Impact. Oh, wow.
1v4 Faker. You are not going to survive that one. Almost took down Pomelo on the way out, but definitely bit off a little bit more than he could chew there.
Very interesting moves coming out from SKT, where they're kind of trying to do their own thing on two separate occasions. They need to play more as a team. This is actually what got them in trouble in a lot of their defeats over in OGN or NLB, where individuals would try and make really big plays, but they would lose to the teamwork of Frost and Ozone, the two teams they lost to. Bengi going in was one example. Faker trying to 1v4 there from the brush is another.
And we know, as a team, that OMG are absolutely incredible. Impact why not? Take the damage of every single mine, make sure those minions do in fact get through onto the base. Uh-oh, this is bad for Sun. Bengi's going to come in around the back. There's the kick. Piglet comes in. He puts down the damage. And that's a simple pick off, something that OMG cannot afford.
Absolutely not. Now they have no AD carry. That means that outer turret is basically indefensible. If SKT chooses to go for it, they're actually more concerned of getting the blue buff on Faker though. So that may actually be a late game pickoff that doesn't lead to an objective, which is rare. Kind of dodging a bullet there.
Yeah, looking for their side of things. Yeah, OMG. Faker though does have that blue now, and you look down his items, he's got that death cap on since we last checked in, and another needlessly large rod, so going to be headed up, you have to feel, towards that Zhonya's hourglass so that he can have that safety. I mean, the 1v4 it probably wouldn't have mattered if he had the Zhonya's there because he was going to go down either way, but that Zhonya's can make a difference in the grand scheme of things. Right now, SKT actually sat fairly defensively, just trying to push things out as far as possible.
Yeah, Faker's sitting on 557 ability power. Knowing they're playing against a Ziggs and knowing that they have maintained map control here, it's actually prudent for them to just wait for the next Baron.
Yeah.
And then hope to pull OMG into a team fight, which is what normally teams don't want to do. But hopefully for SKT, the vision advantage, the map control, and the gold lead will give them the advantage here within the next Baron time.
And that is coming up in 1 minute and 30 seconds. The way that SKT have kind of backed off from that certainly looks like they want to either fight around that Baron or just wait and take that Baron. OMG, of course, aren't going to give that one up for free. They couldn't defend that last time around, albeit they definitely tried as hard as he could. The culling coming through. Young throw his ultimate in there as well, but in the end it was SKT that got the first Baron of this game. We're approaching the 30-minute mark, so let's once again have a look down some of the items.
Bengi, though,
because Bengi getting caught out, he's going to safeguard. Tidal Wave comes across though. Bengi is maybe going to fall from this. Hongdo going at the front. Son going to be focused though. They've got rid of the AD carry, and they're now going to keep going with Piglet getting the slow on towards Pomelo. He pops his W to try and run away. Rest of the team is coming around the side. 40 seconds until Baron. There is Go going, getting slowed down. Pomelo's going to try and get away through the brush, but Piglet is going to kill him off here. This one is done and dusted. No way that Pomelo will get away from that. Faker killed off Go going as well. That's 4 men down with 20 seconds till Baron.
And OMG fully committed with no vision control, so they were going in blind and just hoping that SKT wasn't in the proper position. Well, they're SKT and they were in the proper position, and that's the big reason OMG got completely wrecked there. They got blindsided by Twitch. Piglet cleaned up. He's now 7-2, and it gives him a Baron.
Waiting for that one as well.
May as well.
Bit of a dance before they celebrate another Baron. Second one of the game here for SK Telecom T1K. Alan is the only person around. If you can steal a Baron with Nami, then you're doing something right overall, but not even going to try it. That's the second Baron of the game, going to SKT.
Yeah, honestly, he would have been doing something wrong if he tried to get it with Nami, because he'd be way too open to getting picked off and losing the game from a push. Now we get to take another look at this. See, when they caught them, they went so far in, but there was an Orianna and a Twitch who just get straight to San and Alan. Faker doesn't even have to do anything. It was just Piglet that cleaned them up right there. And they don't even get Bengi.
That escape from Bengi, getting the ward down, and, well, of course, it was then just a chase to victory.
And this is another thing about having Trundle plus Orianna in their team comp. No escape. The pillars and the move speed by Trundle will secure kills if they can force battles in the open field like that.
And once again, Twitch, as you mentioned, just showing, I mean, we've seen it already a couple of times from Piglet. He's now got 7 kills to his name. Getting in behind the AD carry, or anyone really for that matter, is 1v1 potential. Massive impact coming here on towards Sun. He's got slows for days, and Sun is already down to half HP. He's flashed away, which actually might just save his life.
I don't know if he can actually outrun Impact unless he pulls off some spectacular juke. Impact is much faster, and Sun clearly can't duel him. That pillow's going to slow him down.
That was pretty nice pillow work there, and Impact just waiting. It's one of those
over the wall,
slow and painful deaths, but there's more of an immediate death going on in the mid lane there. Faker getting a lot of damage, but he gets out of the shockwave. That's going to get him a double kill. Xion has to back away. Piglet's going to chase him. He's flashed in there. Has he got the damage? By God, has he got the damage? He's unstoppable now at 8-2-8. This may very well be the game for SK Telecom T1K.
Joe, once they got that first Baron, they just did not relent their pressure against OMG right here. They are totally in control. 31 minutes in, pushing the Nexus.
And I think our pre-game question of have SKT and Bengi in particular turn the corner is hard to argue with this one. They clean up the game with an ace, with a Nexus. SKT goes 3-0 here, All-Stars.
And the crowd was absolutely so loud after that one. They're happy to see SKT back at the top of their game. Bengi ganked enough for Faker to let him destroy Young in that mid lane. Even though Piglet and Mandu couldn't take down that lane 2v2, they were still vastly superior. You can see OMG stunned.
Absolutely gutted about that one because they had some very good signs in that game.
Yeah.
The bottom lane in particular started out so well for them. They forced Piglet incredibly early when he had just 2 CS to recall back into base. They couldn't bring that through though, and by the end Piglet was just out of control.
Piglet went absolutely nuts on Twitch. That's one of the big reasons they're willing to first pick that champion. Knowing that against OMG, you're often going to have to come down to team fights, they made sure to pick a pretty damn good team fighting AD carry. And Piglet had his positioning later in the game, even if he didn't have it in lane.
Absolutely incredible game. Certainly left me breathless, I think is the right word.
You don't
in
expect
a couple of different areas.
You do not expect a 26 to 15 kill game.
No.
When you're seeing potentially the two best teams here.
31 minutes that game actually felt a lot longer. I think because we had so much action, there were only 2 Dragon pickups.
Yeah.
There were exactly as many Baron pickups in that game as there were Dragons. That just shows you how Dragon was not really a major factor for the concentration of both teams.
It's because there was so much else happening within the map, they almost didn't even have time to go over to the Dragons and pick them up because they were more worried about the top lane battle, the mid lane battle, getting picks, going for Baron, things like that ended up happening.
Impact, I want to